like this on the. They ain't getting it like this on the. They ain't getting it like this on a Monday. No, I'ma grind till I can grind no more. I'ma shine until I blind your glow. Gotta grind until you out that hole. You can die from being down so low just to cleanse your soul. You forgive and let go. Gotta dress warm in the world so cold. Gotta keep your eyes on your friends and your foes. Gotta stack bread till that shit don't fold. Cause on Tuesday, hard work, no play. I'ma bulldoze everything in my way. Cause on Wednesday, spending time with my babe. Cause ain't no getting in the way of hump day. And Thursday, I'm working, my pockets ain't hurting. Friday, I'm fly, my co-workers be flirting. Saturday, that's when I'm flexing my muscle. Sunday, I'm thanking my God for my hustle. Cause they ain't getting it like this on a Monday. They ain't getting it like this, they ain't getting it like this. They ain't getting it like this on a Monday. No, they ain't getting it like this on a Monday. They ain't getting it like this, they ain't getting it like this. They ain't getting it like this on a Monday. No, work until I turn to a boss. Gotta stunt until it turn to a floss. Gotta learn from every time that I lost. So that little note you got, you about to pay it off. Now they hating now, cause you made it now. Took a long time, you was patient now. Work hard for it, want no handouts. Like some braces when they done, pull them bands out. Remember on a Tuesday, all work, no play. I'ma bust a doubles for them haters that was fake. Cause on Wednesday, spending time with my big cuz ain't no getting in the way of hump day. And Thursday, I'm working, my pockets ain't hurting. Friday, I'm fly, my co-workers be flirting. Saturday, that one, I'm flexing my muscle. Sunday, I'm thanking my God for my hustle. Cause they ain't getting it like this on a Monday. They ain't getting it like this, they ain't getting it like this. They ain't getting it like this on a Monday. No, they ain't getting it like this on a Monday. They ain't getting it like this, they ain't getting it like this. They ain't getting it like this on a Monday. No, Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, I know they gon' hate, I'm letting that go. Cause one thing I know, they ain't getting it like this on a Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, I know they gon' hate, I'm letting that go. Cause one thing I know, they ain't getting it like this on a Monday.
Amazing news! At Titans Debate League is now looking for interns. We are expanding our team and seeking driven individuals who are ready to make an impact. We're on the hunt for talented people to join our marketing team, a charismatic new host, and creative minds who can produce amazing content. If you have a positive attitude and are used to winning, because that's what we do here, then we want to hear from you. Join us and contribute to a culture of excellence and success here at Titans Debate League. Email us today, titansdebateleague@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Where Infinity Gauntlet is a mere toy compared to the intellectual prowess build and destroy the cipher. Intellectual sword to slice you, or whatever device you recommend. Surgical precise pen, hand get heated, the room will spin. If man get treated, them goals gon' spin. Level heads with feet, paradigm the box you in. Got a pair of red dimes in the box you in. Don't matter, paradigms, your clock won't spin. Hear the sounds of the trumpets, start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down or lay down when we're stopping. It's the clash of the tigers. Hear the sounds of the trumpets, start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down or lay down when we storming. It's the clash of the titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets, start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down or lay down when we storming. It's the clash of the titans. It's the clash of the titans.
OWL, only world logic, OLEEE. Only logical explanation of existence. Know the ledge.
Philosophy.
I mess around and catch a case with this one. Make 'em wanna party in outer space with this one. We slap these haters in their face with this one. Wait, I missed one. 2 times we on time. Every line of treasure you only find in my mind. And you know I work in the mines. I don't charge a dime for you to stay out of mine. Yeah, they fear as soon as they hear it. Smart minds salute it, the weak minds fear it. Like Aristotle, I question coherence through the eyes of a thinker. Truth become appearance. Only answers come from the questions you form with time and nature. Every question transformed. It's the mecca for the minds that was built to explore. Bird droppings on the way, now the game getting stormed. Yeah. OWL on the wall, OLE in position. Test every claim, then I check the condition. If it don't hold coherence, it don't earn recognition. That's why debate opponents keep socially distancing. See, they don't really want pressure. They just want applause. Till somebody asks questions, then the room get paused. I built this from the ground, y'all just copying sauce. Different type of animal, different type of boss. Yeah. Can it be understood? Can it move without contradiction? Can the mind update when it finally see the friction? Yeah. I mess around and catch a case with this one. Make 'em wanna party in outer space with this one. We slap these haters in their face with this one. Wait, I missed one. 2 times we on time. Every line of treasure you only find in my mind. And you know I work in the mines. I don't charge a dime for you to stay out of mine. Yeah, the wool removed, it's wolves I see. No fur, no scales, it's feathers on me. I'm more Fati, more, I'm more. Was Christian once, but I'm trapped no more. It's like trying to fly with an injured wing. That's exactly why the jailbird sing. I flew to the top, left proof on things. Bird crumbs ain't enough when your appetite king. Mental worth, I done filled up the bank. You offer incoherence, so thanks. No thanks. Keep your mental cranks, I can form thoughts well. Still waiting, no answers for Yahweh and El. And Satan too, if we telling the story. Why blame a devil for a human choosing poorly? I move with my mind, I don't feel what's unseen. No ghost in the dark, get to hijack me. No copy, no paste, you can't get my style. Heart on my sleeve, still walk with a smile. Yeah. Judge me by my past, take a look at me now. I ain't doing this for me, trying to make my mama proud. Quantum only isn't true, yeah, we bringing it out. Why y'all watching me? Better watch the crowd. I'm from Oklahoma, no pie, turn a cracker to a feast. And I also know the ratchet turn an actor to a priest. Cold, hard world, but it's colder in the streets. Money on my mind, barely ever get to sleep. Yeah, dreams right there, still feel out of reach. Lights up ahead, I just want a little piece. Still student of the game, don't qualify, teach. Learn lessons every day, so I evolve every week. Best philosopher for sense, never mind, let's chill. I just know the difference between truth and skill. Between fake deep talk and the mind that build. Between people that repeat and the ones that reveal. I mess around and catch a case with this one. Make 'em wanna party in outer space with this one. We slap these haters in their face with this one. Wait, I missed one. 2 times we on time. Every line of treasure you only find in my mind. And you know I work in the mines. I don't charge a dime for you to stay out of mine.
Philosophy.
OWL. OLEEE. Know the ledge.
Yeah. How everybody doing this evening? You know who it is, what it is, and where it is. It's me, Oli. This is Know the Ledge, and we're at the Titans Debate League at the Coliseum. Welcome to another Ledge. I am Oli, aka Jermaine Nugent, and this is the Know the Ledge show. Know the Ledge is a philosophical education show. This is where we take the questions that we have challenged some of the greatest minds in history and slow them down long enough to understand what is actually being asked. We're not here to rush toward conclusions. We're not here to repeat somebody else's opinions just because they sound intelligent. And we are not here to pick a side before we understand the question. On this show, we define the terms. We examine the history. We introduce the major thinkers. We look at the strongest arguments from different sides. We ask what each view explains well, and we ask where each view reaches its ledge. Because to get to the knowledge, we have to get to know the ledge. So tonight, we're stepping into one of the deepest questions in the philosophy of mathematics. Are mathematics discovered, or are they created from consciousness? Do human beings discover mathematics, or do human beings invent it? Would mathematics still be true if there were no human beings here to think about it? Let's get to the ledge. Tonight's question sounds simple until you really sit with it. Most of us learn mathematics as children. We learn how to count. We learn addition and subtraction. Later, we learn geometry, algebra, and equations, things of that nature. And then eventually, mathematics becomes so familiar to us that we stop asking where it came from. But let's think about it for a minute. Before any human being ever counted to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 plus 2 was already equal to 4. Before anybody measured a circle, did the relationship we call pi already exist? That's a good question. Before Pythagoras was born, was the Pythagorean theorem already true? That's a good question. Was it already there? We explore these type of questions. And before conscious minds appeared anywhere in the universe, did the mathematical relationship already belong to reality? One side says yes, mathematical truths were already there. Human beings did not create them, we discovered them. And then the other side, they say mathematics is something minds construct. They say without minds capable of forming symbols, without the definitions or the proofs and the logical systems, they say mathematics would not exist in the same way. So that's the question. And once we ask that question seriously, we ain't just talking about arithmetic. We're asking what kind of reality we live in. Sorry about that. What is the question really asking? What is that question really asking? This is not just a question about numbers. It is a question about the relationship between mind and reality. When a mathematician proves a theorem, what exactly happens? Did the mathematician uncover a truth that was waiting to be found? Or did the mathematician construct some type of valid result inside a system created by what we call human thought? Are those numbers real objects, or are they abstract objects? Are they concepts? Are they patterns? Are they useful symbols? Are mathematics truths discovered like we discovered planets, or like we discovered flight, or invented like language, the way that we invented the plane? And if mathematics is invented, why does it describe the universe so accurately? Why can a human mind sit down with symbols on paper and produce equations that help us understand gravity, electricity, atoms, the galaxy motions, planetary motions, the behavior of light? All mathematics does this. Like, we can sit and figure out things with mathematics. But if mathematics is discovered, then another question appears for me. Where does mathematics exist? Think about it. If the number 4 exists independently from human beings, where is it? Not where's the symbol, like you write the number 4, or the number 4 on the back of somebody's jersey. We know those symbols. We know that that's the symbol for number 4. The question is, where is the mathematical truth itself? That is what remains of this philosophical question. That's why this is still a philosophical question. It's not about whether mathematics works. We already know math works. We've been doing math since we was able to count our shoes, or even before that, I'm sure. But the deeper question is what mathematics is. What is mathematics? Why this is still a philosophical argument. Mathematics is one of the most successful tools that human beings have ever used. Physics depends on mathematics. Think about it. Engineering depends on mathematics. Think about it. Computer science depends on mathematics. Shout out King Hurt. I see why you're a mathematician now. There's some interesting things in there. Computer science depends on mathematics. Economics depends on mathematics. Think about it. Architecture, medicine, astronomy, all types of modern technology all rely on mathematical relationships. But I have to say that success doesn't just automatically settle the philosophical question. A hammer can work without answering the question of what the metal is. A map can work without answering the question of what space is. Mathematics can work without automatically telling us what mathematics is, and that's the ledge. The equation can be correct while the ontology remains unsettled. Ontology simply means the study of what exists. Remember that. It's a simple term. Ontology, the study of what exists. So when philosophers debate mathematics, they're usually asking these questions like, do mathematical objects exist independently from us? Do mathematical statements describe a reality that is already there? Or is mathematics a system that we created by the minds to organize the patterns and relationships of the things we see? See, there is no simple answer accepted by anyone. There are several serious intellectual positions, and intelligent people have defended each of the sides of the question. So tonight, what we're going to do is talk about it. We're going to talk through most of the strongest arguments that we have. And this is the main positions that we get. Because before we look at the individual thinkers and the people who've asked and tried to answer this question, we need a map. The first position is mathematical Platonism. Platonism says mathematical objects exist independently of us. It says that numbers, sets, structures, and mathematical truths are not created by human minds. We discover them. That's an interesting view. The second position is intuitionism. Intuitionism says mathematics is constructed through the activity of the mind. Mathematical truth depends upon what can actually be constructed and demonstrated through reasoning. The third position is formalism. Now, formalism treats mathematics as if it's a rule-governed system of symbols. The focus is not just necessarily on whether all the numbers exist somewhere independently of us. The focus is on the rules. The focus is on the axioms and the procedures that allow valid mathematical operations. The fourth position is nominalism or fictionalism. These views challenge the idea that mathematical objects literally exist as abstract entities. I've talked to people, and some of them do believe that mathematical objects literally exist as abstract entities. Mathematics may be useful and even indispensable in practice without requiring us to believe that numbers exist in some independent realm. Because, well, I won't give my view yet, but the fifth position is structuralism. Excuse me. Structuralism says mathematics is fundamentally about patterns, positions, and relations within structures. These positions overlap in places, and none of them can be reduced to just like a number slogan. But this map gives us a place to begin. So if you look over that real good, you'll see the few positions that we'll talk about the most tonight. The discovery position, this is a side that mathematics is found and not invented, right? So what we'll do is we'll begin with the central idea of the discovery position. It says that mathematical truths do not depend upon human beings. It says that human beings discover mathematics in the same general sense that we discover features of reality. The argument usually begins with objectivity. Let's hold on for a minute. Sorry about this, y'all. I'm getting back to my computer. Oh, that's A1. Man, what up, man? All right, gotcha.
What's up? I thought you was going live off the wrong page for a split second because it wasn't showing on the Titans page that you was live. But when I came in here, I see that you on there. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bet. I'm about to mute out. Do your thing.
Gotcha. Let me get this back big for y'all so y'all can see that. So, the discovery position, again, we're going to talk about the discovery position, which says that mathematics is found and not invented. So, this says that mathematical truth does not depend upon what us as human beings say. Human beings discover mathematics in the same general sense that we discover features of reality. Now, this is what the discovery position is. The argument usually begins with objectivity. Different people in different places can arrive at the same mathematical conclusion. That's interesting. 2 + 2 does not become 5 because someone feels strongly about it, because somebody in Russia and someone in China decides that these different objects are going to now say 5. You can't do that. We know that the idea that we've come to when we come to numbers, 2 + 2, does not become 5, no matter how you feel, how strongly you feel about it. Prime numbers don't change because a culture changes its language. The relationship between the diameter and the circumference of a circle does not depend upon who measures it. It's going to be the same whether I measure it or A1 measure it. The discovery side also points to the mathematical convergence. Mathematicians can begin with the same definitions and arrive at the same conclusions, even when they work independently from each other. So if you have a mathematician over here forming applied mathematics and equations, and another one's over here building a ship. They still rely on the same mathematical convergence. That's interesting. And then there's effectiveness of mathematics in science. Equations developed through abstract reasoning repeatedly turn out to describe the physical world. Repeatedly. We've been able to advance in technology for that reason right there. Not only can we demonstrate it, then we can start making predictions before we even do it and say what the prediction should come out to. And it comes out just as it all added up. I put it like that when we're talking about the equations. To defenders of mathematical realism, this does not look like a coincidence. It looks like mathematics is revealing something objective about reality. The most famous philosophical name associated with this family of views is Plato. We know Plato. Plato had a big mind, didn't he? A lot of everything that I found out in my research came to Plato. Even as the years advanced, a lot of them look back to Plato, but that's for another ledge. Because Plato lived in the ancient Greece more than like 2,000 years ago. His large philosophical system is known as the theory of forms. The basic ideal is that the physical world we experience is changing and imperfect, but reason can grasp stable and intelligible realities that are not dependent upon any single physical object. He said, if you draw a circle, the circle is never perfect. A wheel is never a perfect circle. A coin is not a perfect circle, but the mathematical ideal of the circle is exact. In that contrast, it matters because the physical objects can be damaged, distorted, or destroyed. The mathematical relationship is still going to remain. That's interesting. Modern mathematical Platonism is not identical to the every detail of Plato's philosophy. Scholars debate exactly how Plato himself should be interpreted. Not how he would interpret it, how it should be interpreted. Why? Because I guess when he was doing his things, he never gave his interpretations. But that's for you to look up and for you to find out. The name remains useful because central intuition survives. Mathematical truths appear to possess an objectivity that does not depend upon us. So when you look at it like that and under that view, the number 3 is not created when a child learns how to count. The child recognizes a relationship that was already available to be discovered. Platonism gives a clear answer to tonight's question. Platonism says mathematical laws are discovered. Mathematical laws are discovered. Hurt. What's up? There go my mathematician in the building tonight. Shout out King Hurt. I'm trying to stay out the chat so I can get this done. But I don't know, it clicked and I just happened to look over there. And this is my man King Hurt, the mathematician. You need to come up here if you could after this and come talk to us about the title is Mathematics Discovered. Because I know you got some very interesting insight. I had dealings with you and you're mathematically a genius and brilliant. But anyway, as I was stating, Platonism gives a clear answer to tonight's question. Mathematical laws are discovered, but it also creates a new problem when you say that mathematics are discovered. Why? Because if mathematical objects exist independently of human minds and independently of the physical world, how do our minds gain access to them? I'm going to ask that question one more time. If mathematical objects exist independently of the human minds and independently of the physical world, how do our minds gain access to them? And that's the problem that's going to follow us throughout the episode. And the first person that we're going to talk about, oh, my slide didn't change. Sorry about that. Hold on. Almost. Dang, I wonder if Sorry about that, y'all. I wasn't changing my slides and I thought I was. This is the slide on Plato. Again, I'll just be real quick with it. Physical objects are imperfect and changeable. Draw a circle. A drawn circle is never perfect. Mathematical relationships appear stable and exact. The mathematical ideal of a circle remains exact. So what that's basically saying is that we can make mathematical predictions before we even do some things such as engineering, building, traveling from here to there, and make mathematical equations, and that should give us a visual of what we can expect. The next line in this, one of the most important modern defenders of the mathematical realism was Kurt Gödel. Gödel was one of the most influential logicians of the 20th century. He is best known for his incompleteness theorems, but his philosophical position matters just as much for tonight's discussion. See, because Gödel defended a form of mathematical Platonism, because what he did was he treated mathematics as a descriptive discipline. In other words, mathematics is not merely a game with symbols. Mathematical truths are objective. That's what Gödel said. I say Gödel. Remember, I'm from Oklahoma, so when I say some of these names, y'all can laugh at me. But when I speak, I say Gödel. When I say Quinn, Putnam, you see the names. But anyway, Gödel believed that the mathematical concepts and objects have a reality that is not reducible to our language or our personal opinions. That doesn't mean that every mathematical question is easy to answer. It means there is something there to investigate. And then another important realist argument is associated with W.V.O. Quinn and Hilary Putnam. They together their argument is known as the indispensability argument. The basic ideal is this: science gives us a strong reasons to believe in ethics and entities that our best theories require. Science gives us reasons and strong reasons to believe in entities that our best theories require. Modern science relies heavily on mathematics. Therefore, if mathematics is indispensable to our best scientific theories, that gives us a reason to take mathematical entities seriously. The discovery side is powerful because it explains why mathematics feels objective and why it fits scientific relativity and scientific reality so effectively. But the discovery side still faces a serious question. If mathematical objects exist outside of the physical space and time that we exist in, how do physical minds know anything about them? The ledge of the discovery position. So right now, before we continue, I want to give y'all a quick little recap on what we've had so far for the first side.
Observers, no minds to measure distances, and no one to calculate trajectories. In that vacuum, does Imagine a universe devoid of human life. No observers, no minds to measure distances, and no one to calculate trajectories. In that vacuum, does mathematics still exist? The question is whether human beings invented math as a cognitive tool, or if we discovered structural relationships that were already present in the architecture of reality. Look at this spiral galaxy. Billions of years before a human mind existed to write down an equation, the stars were moving according to exact proportional sequences. The golden ratio governed the curve of these arms long before we arrived to name it. Mathematics serves as our most successful framework for physics and engineering. We use it to build bridges and guide rovers to Mars, but its effectiveness as a tool does not explain its nature. To separate the utility of a system from its reality, we use a specific branch of philosophy, ontology, the study of what exists. If mathematics is purely a human invention, We lack a functional account for why the physical universe obeys rules we supposedly devised. Prime numbers and the ratio of pi do not fluctuate. They remain exact regardless of how human cultures develop or how languages change. They operate with a structural stability that seems independent of our perception. This observation forms the core of mathematical Platonism, a framework named after the philosopher Plato. Plato distinguished between the physical world and the world of forms. He noted that while a circle drawn in the sand is always jagged and imperfect, the mathematical idea of a circle remains exact and eternal. Look at the objects in your room. No physical wheel, coin, or plate is mathematically flawless, yet your mind recognizes the concept of a perfect circle that these objects merely approximate. Platonism explains this by arguing that mathematical laws are not physical objects we touch, but objective realities we discover with our minds. Modern logicians like Kurt Gödel defended this position, arguing that mathematics is an objective description of the universe, not a game of human symbols. This is the foundation of the indispensability argument. It points out that our highest-level scientific theories rely entirely on mathematical entities to function. Under this argument, accepting the reality of physical laws requires accepting the reality of the mathematics used to describe them. You cannot treat the bridge as a fiction if you expect the destination to be real. Ancient Babylonians and modern physicists, separated by millennia and language, calculate the same relationship between a circle's diameter and its circumference. For the discovery position, this convergence happens because both are observing the same objective feature of reality. The Platonist framework provides a consistent explanation for why mathematics appears stable and objective across different eras and cultures. But if these perfect mathematical objects are not physical, and they exist outside of space and time, where are they? To find where they reside, we have to look at epistemology, the study of how we know what we know. This reveals the access problem. It is a logical paradox. How does a physical, biological human brain interact with or extract data from a non-physical, timeless mathematical realm? Platonism accounts for the objectivity of truth, but it leaves a void where the bridge between the mind and reality should be.
And we'll be right back after this.
Attention all debate fans. You've been watching, you've been arguing, you've been picking sides. But now it's time to level up. From this point forward, all debates on this platform are going members only. That means the hottest clashes, the wildest arguments, and your favorite personalities going head to head will only be available to subscribers. You want real scholarship? You want the smoke? You want the unfiltered action? Then don't get left outside looking in. Sign up today for as low as $3.99 and get full access to every debate, every moment, every knockout argument. This is Titans Debate League, where legends are made and debates get real. Join now or miss out. Listen up, Titan family. The Coliseum of Arguments is officially opening the vaults, and this is your chance to win a piece of league history. We're running a massive high-stakes t-shirt raffle, and these are not your average tees. We're talking an ultra-exclusive, limited edition, premium custom apparel that you can't buy anywhere else. Once they're gone forever. We're keeping the stakes high and the odds completely in your favor. Here's how it goes down. Tickets are only $2. The limit, $40 or 20 tickets per person to keep the playing field fair. The odds, we're picking a brand new winner for every 20 tickets sold. Think about the math. If you max out your 20 tickets, you are essentially guaranteeing a crowd milestone and forcing a new drawing. The more tickets moving, the more winners we crown back to back. Are you a $3.99 channel member? Then we've already got your back. As a thank you for holding down the foundation, every single $3.99 member is automatically getting one free ticket entered into the raffle. handle. But don't just rely on that one ticket. Secure your stack, maximize your odds, and ensure your name gets called. These custom designs, from the legendary Debate or Die print to the official Titans Debate League emblems, are strictly limited edition. You don't want to be sitting in the chat watching everyone else flaunt their exclusive gear while you missed out over a $2 ticket. How to enter? Open up your Cash App. Send your entry to $Titans Debate League. Put your name/handle in the notes so we know exactly who to crown. The clock is ticking, the tickets are moving, and the next 20 ticket milestone is closing fast. Lock your entries in now and claim your crown. Winners picked this Friday. Are you not entertained?
Yeah, man. Let's don't forget, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Share this with your friends. It's the Titans Debate League. It's your boy Oli, the Al. We up late night with the Al hours. Appreciate y'all being with me, being out there with me in the chat. We almost finished with these last few slides, and when we finish, I'm sure it's a lot of y'all out there who got an opinion on what we speaking about, and if y'all can tell me if meth is discovered and how y'all feel about that. Before we left the break, we was on the ledge of discovery position. How do abstract minds access abstract truth? Excuse me, I said that wrong. How do minds access abstract truth? Now, this is the first major ledge because Platonism gives us objectivity. It explains why mathematics seems stable. It explains why mathematical relations do not change with our personal opinions. It explains why truths can be recognized by people in different cultures in different centuries. But it also asks us to accept abstract mathematical objects. That creates a difficult question for a lot of minds. And if numbers don't exist in a physical space, how do we encounter them? If mathematical truths do not exist in time, how do minds operate through brains, and minds operating through brains come to know the truths about what exists as a mathematical truth? If mathematics belongs to an independent abstract realm, what is it that connects this realm to us? This is sometimes people call this the epistemological problem. Epistemology is the study of knowledge, how we get our knowledge. The question is not whether mathematics works. As I stated earlier, we know mathematics work. The question is how we know mathematical truth if the truth exists independently of physical reality and independently of our conscious minds. That is the ledge of the discovery position. It gives us objectivity, but it owes us an account for access to that objectivity. So before we move to the opposing views, let's pause and review the first half of what we went through. And we already did that. And we move on to the construction side. Construction position. They say that mathematics is built through the mind. This is the opposing side of Platonism and the discovery of mathematics. This side says that mathematics is built through the mind. We never encounter mathematics without some form of mental activity. We encounter symbols, we encounter proofs, we encounter definitions, we encounter rules. This is what I wish Herc was up here for, because I hope he come up here. We encounter human beings reasoning through relationships. So the construction side asks, why assume mathematical objects exist independently of minds when mathematics is practiced through the mind? Maybe mathematics is not a hidden world waiting for us. Maybe mathematics is something minds build. But we need to be careful here. Saying that mathematics is constructed does not mean mathematics is arbitrary, right? It does not mean 2 + 2 can equal anything we want it to, right? A chess game. We play chess a lot on Titans. That's why my board look like that. But once humans created the chess game, right? But once the rules are established, not every move is legal. A language is created through human activity, but words cannot mean absolutely anything in every context. A constructed system can still contain necessary relationships. The best known thinker on the mental construction side is L.E.J. Brouwer. That's him right there. Oh, Lutzen Egbertus Jan Brouwer. Yeah, that's Lut. That's L.E. right there. Lutzen. But he went by L.E.J. because they didn't want to say Lutzen Egbertus Jan Brouwer so much. But he was a Dutch mathematician and a philosopher, which answers for his name. He developed intuitionism as a philosophy of mathematics. I believe, yeah. Brouwer, he the one that for his thinking, mathematics wasn't primarily a collection of abstract objects existing in a separate realm. Mathematics is an activity of the mind, mental workouts. I believe in mental workouts, critical thinking. A mathematical claim is meaningful when it can be constructed. This matters because intuitionism places proof at the center of mathematics. It is not enough to say that a mathematical object must exist because denying its existence produces a contradiction, right? The intuitionist asks, can you construct it? Can you demonstrate it? Can you actually produce the reasoning that establishes it? This leads intuitionists to challenge some forms of classical reasoning, especially unrestricted use of the law of excluded middle. That law says that proposition must be either true or false. For many ordinary claims, that seems obvious. But Brouwer, he argued that in mathematics, especially within infinite sets, we should not always claim that a statement is true or false unless we have a construction that establishes the answer. Intuitionism answers tonight's question differently than Platonism. Mathematics is not merely discovered. Mathematics is created through disciplined mental construction. But intuitionism has its own ledge, as they all do. If mathematics is created through the mind, why does it describe a universe that existed before human minds appeared? It's a great question. If mathematics are created through the mind, why does it describe a universe that existed before human minds appeared? Bro, they say you got the answer for that. And that's David Hilbert in Formalism. He says that mathematics as a rule governs system. He's one of the most important figures connected to this history. Hilbert was a German, of course, you know them Germans when it comes to mathematics. Hilbert was a German mathematician and one of the leading mathematical thinkers of the late 19th and the 20th centuries. In the early 1920s, he proposed what became known as Hilbert's program. The goal was ambitious: formalize mathematics through axioms, clarify the rules, then demonstrate the consistency of the system using secure methods. I like the way he worked. Formalism, in its broadest form, treats mathematics less like a separate world of abstract objects and more like a disciplined system of symbols, rules, and valid transformations. The important question becomes, what follows from the axioms? If we begin with clearly stated rules, which conclusions can be derived without contradictions, which conclusions can be derived without contradictions? This approach helps explain the rigor of mathematics. It helps explain how proofs work. It helps explain why mathematics can be checked step by step. 1 + 1 = 2 times 2 = 4. You can go back and you can walk it all out and find out why you have 4 objects now. It's because you only have 2, but you multiplied it. So you just put an extra 2. And these are things that help us explain how you can walk step by step to check your mathematics. I remember in school, we used to have to check our work and write it down on the Hercules. You be making your students do that? I bet he be making his students. I bet he make his students write. Let me see all of your work. You one of them teachers, Herc? Hey, my bad. It helps explain the mathematics in step by step, but formalism also reaches a ledge. If mathematics is only a formal system, why does it map into physical universe so well? Why does it map into physical existence so well? Why do these symbols describe real world behavior? And Gödel's incompleteness theorems place limits on the hope that one formal system could neatly secure every mathematical truth from inside itself. Formalism gives us rigor, but rigor alone does not fully explain the relationship between mathematics and what we call reality. Hartree Field and nominalism. Do mathematical objects need to exist? This was his question. I love philosophical questions. I don't care what nobody say. I love philosophical questions. Do mathematical objects need to exist? Now we come to another challenge. Do mathematical objects have to exist at all? Hartree Field is an American philosopher known for his work on mathematical nominalism. His major book, Science Without Numbers, was published in 1980. So this is a modern philosopher from over here in the States. Now, Hartree sound like I don't know. His major book was published, Science Without Numbers was published in 1980. Field challenged the idea that successful science automatically commits us to the literal existence of mathematical objects. Because I've taken that look into other departments, but we'll talk about that later. Remember the indispensability argument. Quinn and Putnam argued that mathematics plays such, is really king, or queen. I say Quinn because that's, like I said, I'm from Oklahoma. It's Queen. Quinn and Putnam argued that mathematics play such an important role in science that we should take mathematical entities seriously. But Field, he pushed back on that. He asked whether science could be reformulated without treating numbers and mathematical objects as literal inhabitants of reality. Do we have to act like they have to be real somewhere? It's real when I look at the individuality of myself or the individuality of something else before I put it with something else and make it two. Mathematics is enormously useful. The question is whether usefulness requires literal existence, just as the story with the boy who cried wolf. His literal existence weighs none on the meaning of that story. But we're talking about mathematics. Let me get back to mathematics. Mathematics is enormously useful. The question is whether usefulness requires literal existence. The map can be useful without being the territory. A fictional character can help us understand a story without existing as a physical person. I'm gonna read that one more time. A fictional character can help us understand a story without existing as a physical person. When I understood this, that helped me jump my critical thinking by leap years. But likewise, some philosophers argue that mathematical language can help us organize scientific knowledge without requiring numbers to exist independently as abstract objects. And I believe a lot of us, well, let me hush. I ain't gonna say that. I shouldn't say that. In my opinion, I do have that view. The ledge of nominalism is obvious, though. If mathematical objects are not real, why does mathematics work with such extraordinary precision? Why does mathematics work with such extraordinary precision? How are we now able to fly? Mathematics and engineering, sciences, questions. But mathematics does the dirty work, measuring, making sure the space is right, the diameter is correct. The engineer do come and tighten all the bolts, make sure everything's tightened up. But the mathematical angles and equations that are needed for some of the technology that we have and that we're using is amazing. But that doesn't mean that numbers are required to be real when we see the work that we do. So the ledge of nominalism is just that. If mathematical objects are not real, why does mathematics work with such extraordinary precision? Usefulness still needs explanation. The usefulness of numbers need explanation. So we move on to Robert Shapiro and structuralism. Mathematics as a science of structure. Structuralism offers another way of looking at the issue. There's so many ways that you can look at different questions, y'all. This is why I always say everybody should be critical thinkers and form their own thoughts and ideas about situations after you've been able to look over several other if they don't fit. A major contemporary figure associated with structuralism is Stuart Shapiro. His 1997 book, Philosophy of Mathematics, Structure and Ontology, presents mathematics as a science of structure. The basic ideal is this: mathematics is not primarily about isolated objects. It is about relationships, patterns, and positions within structures. Consider the number 2, right? Structuralism asks us not to imagine the number 2 as a mysterious object floating somewhere in an abstract realm. You don't have to do that. Instead, look at its position within a pattern. 2 comes after 1. 2 comes before 3. 2 has relationships with other numbers. Its identity is understood through the structure in which it appears. This helps explain why the same mathematical relationships can show up in different physical situations. This helps explain why the same mathematical relations can show up in different physical situations. This is something we all see. We know it. 2 apples is the same as 2 planets. It's the same as 2 notes. It's the same as 2 people. It's the same as any 2 objects that have their individuality. The physical objects change, but the structural relationship remains. The individuality of each thing that makes two still remains. Structuralism is attractive because it captures something important about mathematics, right? It captures patterns matter. It says that relations matter. It says that structures matter. But structuralism also reaches a ledge. The next questions will become, what grounds the structure? Do structures exist independently? Are they discovered? Are they created? Or are they recognized through the interaction between the minds and the reality? That question remains open. Which leads us to old Eugene Wigner. The unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics. The unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics. Again, shout out King Herc if you're in the chat. I know it's late. You got to work. But we arrive at one of the most famous statements in the entire discussion. In 1960, physicist Eugene Wigner published an essay titled The Unreasonable Effectiveness of Mathematics in the Natural Sciences. Wigner was pointing to a mystery. Mathematical concepts developed through abstract thought often turn out to describe the physical world with remarkable accuracy, right? Not just after the fact. Sometimes mathematics helps scientists identify relationships they had not yet observed. Sometimes the equations lead the investigation, and that is amazing. If mathematics is merely invented, why does reality corroborate everything that we see? Why should symbols and structures created through human reasoning describe nature so effectively? But if mathematics is discovered, we return to the earlier question, right? What kind of thing is mathematical reality? What is it? What kind of thing is a mathematical reality? And how do our minds access that mathematical reality? Wigner does not hand us a simple final answer. He gives us the problem in the clearest form. Mathematics works. It works extraordinarily well. Any serious philosophy of mathematics has to explain why. Mathematics works. It works extraordinarily well. I used mathematics the other day in an applied mathematics way to help somebody keep their mind at ease. And then what I calculated to be true was actually what happened. This was due to deductions of possibilities that exist, but I ain't gonna even go there because we got to go to the next slide. I got one more before we finish. Know the ledge. What each position explains and where it stops. Now we reached the ledge. We looked at several serious positions. We looked at Platonism. What he said, what Platonism says, mathematics is discovered. Mathematical truths exist independently of human minds. That explains the objectivity. It explains why people can arrive at the same mathematical conclusions. It explains why mathematical relationships appear stable. But the ledge of Platonism is access. Where do abstract mathematical objects come? Or where do abstract mathematical objects exist? If he's saying that mathematical objects, where do they exist? And how do the physical minds know them? Intuitionism says mathematics is constructed through a mental activity, through all mental activity. That explains why proof, demonstration, and construction matter. It reminds us that mathematics is something minds actually do. But the ledge of intuitionism is the physical universe. If mathematics is created through mind, why does it describe a universe that existed before the human minds appeared? Formalism answers that, and formalism says mathematics is a rule-governed system. That explains the rigor. It explains axioms, proof procedures, and consistency. But the ledge of formalism is application. Why do symbols and rules describe physical reality so effectively? Nominalism says we may not need to believe in abstract mathematical objects at all. That explains why we should be cautious before turning useful language into literal ontology. But the ledge of nominalism is effectiveness. Why is mathematics so useful if it does not track something real? Structuralism says mathematics is the study of patterns and relationships. That explains why the same structures appear in different systems, why we can use different mathematical equations in different systems. But the ledge of structuralism is grounding. What makes those structures possible? Each position explains something important. Each position also reaches a boundary. That is what it means to know the ledge, of each of these views. We don't reject the position because it has a boundary. We identify the boundary so we can ask the next question more clearly. And now we ask what quantum onlyism adds to the discussion. The quantum onlyist view. Mathematics as recognition of persistent relationships. Quantum onlyism begins from a different place. It does not begin by saying mathematics is floating in a separate realm. It does not begin by saying mathematics is merely invented. It does not begin by reducing mathematics to meaningless symbols. Quantum onlyism begins with existence. Existence is intelligible through time and nature. Time is ordered update. Nature is structural constraint. Things occur, things form, things relate, things persist. Mathematics becomes possible because relations can be recognized. From my perspective and the quantum onlyist perspective, mathematics is the recognition of persistent structured relationships within existence. Again, quantum onlyism perspective is mathematics is the recognition of persistent structural relationships within existence. Mathematics is why I know that I am an individual and everything else that isn't me. I recognize that due to the simple mathematics of my individual self, the one that is me. The symbols are created by minds. The notation is created by minds. Language is created by minds. But the relationships those symbols describe are not created out of nothing. A human being may invent the symbols for the two. A human being does not invent the relationship recognized when two objects are distinguished from three. A human being may invent the written form of an equation. A human being does not invent the stable relationships that make that equation useful. This gives us a position between two extremes. Mathematics is not merely a human invention, but it is not, and it does not require us to imagine numbers floating in a separate realm, in a separate world. Mathematics is recognition. It is the mind identifying stable relationships made possible through ordered update and structural constraint, and through time and nature. That is the quantum onlyist contribution to tonight's question. Not that the other positions are foolish, not that every question has been settled, but that mathematics may be best understood as the recognition of persistent relationships within existence. And that brings us to the end of tonight's ledge. I'm Oli, and it's been good to kick it with you tonight. And remember, to get to the knowledge, you have to get to know the Lord.
What, it's over?
That part
It's
of it is
over.
over. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that part of
Say,
it is over.
I ain't going on. I'm going on break in like 30 minutes. I wanted to hop on the chopper with y'all. If y'all gonna still be up.
Well, yeah. Now, dang, we got 45 comments. I haven't dropped the
Drop the link for them folks.
link.
Man.
I'm just
Did you
drop the
share the
link
link
real quick.
Did you
Thank
share the
y'all
link
for
in the back
stepping
chat?
up. No, I didn't do none of that. I mean, yeah, I didn't do none of that. I ain't gonna even lie. I
Go
was
ahead. Let's.
too
I
busy.
can't do it till lunch, but in 30 minutes.
Got your
But
office to
if you
drop it
can,
in the
let some people up. Yeah, drop it in Dwayne
chat.
group and all the Titan muscle groups and stuff we got. All the Titan groups.
Yeah. See if anybody want to come up and state their opinion on the question. Is mathematics? Come on, copy. There go the StreamYard link, man. If anybody want to come up and give their opinion on what they think about are mathematical laws discovered or are they created by consciousness? I don't know who all in here. Shout out to the chat, though. I see my man Cosmine. I see Juju. Hey, Juju. Hey, Cosmine. Emmanuel in the building. What's up, Omar? I ain't looking at y'all comments, so if you said something bad about me, so what? I don't care. We in here. But yeah, man, that's a real great question that's gonna be answered. I mean, that's gonna be shifted and moved around for a long time. Because that's an opinion type question right now. And the more we ask questions, we get the different views of it. And that's what it is. So if anybody want to come up, we can do that. Let me drop this.
What happens when a Christian preacher's son starts asking questions nobody wants answered? What if faith and science were never supposed to be enemies? This isn't another religious book, and it's not another angry attack on belief. This is a wake-up call. The Agnostic Guide to Faith, Science, and Sanity by A1 Richardson takes you on a mind-bending journey through scripture, psychology, science, energy, cause and effect, vibration, polarity, rhythm, and the universal law shaping your everyday life. Why do people sabotage themselves and blame God? Why do we ignore patterns then act shocked by consequences? Why are so many trapped doing what we call crazy work? This book challenges everything you thought you knew about spirituality, reality, and yourself. No fake certainty, no church cliches, no blind obedience. Just raw honesty, deep reflection, and practical wisdom for people caught between the pulpit, the laboratory, and real life. Whether you're deconstructing your faith, spiritually curious, tired of shallow answers, or searching for sanity in a chaotic world, this book was written for you. Read it with an open mind, read it with courage, read it before life forces you to learn the hard way. The Agnostic Guide to Faith, Science, and Sanity. Stop doing crazy work and wake up to the patterns shaping your life now.
Yeah, we back. Got my man's Omar, my man's Emmanuel. Emmanuel came up first. What up, Titans? What up with you, Emmanuel?
And peace. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to you. Shout out to A1. Shout out to Omar. Shalom. Shout out to King Hurt. Peace to the chat, man. Shout out Juju in the chat.
Yeah.
Shalom, Emmanuel. How you feeling today?
Man, you already know what it is, man. Big Titan gang or don't bang. We on the rise. We got philosophers, we got pastors, we got authors, we got directors. You know, the Titans, we loaded over here, man.
Mathematicians. What's up, Hurt? What's up, Omar? Let me see Omar holler first. Is he?
Hey. I just want to say shalom to my brother A1 and my dog Oli. Oli is my dog, though. It's my dog right there. But I still gotta give much respect to a lot of us on the panel. Prince Shalom. And I even gotta give a shout out and say shalom, even though I be disagreeing with this brother hardcore. I even got to get a shalom and much respect to the brother Hercules too, to the sister Juju, and to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're supposed to be built for.
Yeah, man. Just a little bit of information to get that mind. Mental exercises. Hurt. What's up, Hurt? Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you so much, man.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all feeling?
You kind of low, Hurt.
I'm low.
Yeah.
Is my volume low? Is my voice low? I'm doing low.
I can hear you fine, Hurt. I can hear you just fine. I don't know about him. You sound loud, like just as loud as everybody else.
My bad.
Both
To me.
of y'all was kinda low.
You in my earbuds though, so I don't know.
Hey, Omar.
Yes, sir.
That's how much you gonna mute real quick.
7 times 70.
Out of one kind.
Hold on.
Salakia.
No, so as far, because like, you know, I do have to have integrity. I really can't. I can't sit here and really judge Oli like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though that is my brother, and the reason being, I just got done watching a basketball game. I was bored. And next thing I know, my phone said, I was like, oh, snap. And I was like, oh, snap, I'm late. So I think I did miss the majority of it, but I was like, I was here like maybe 20, 25 minutes. So from what I heard with dealing with what Oli brought up with the mathematics, you know what? If the mathematics match up with the information, I don't see how we can go wrong with it. But I don't mind if somebody hop in, or if y'all agree with me or disagree with me, and you know, I don't mind standing corrected.
Word. So for me, yo, real quick, information, yo, it was interesting information. Your approach, and yeah, definitely I would agree that, you know, math is something that's not invented. You know, it's more discovered. You know, it's in existence before we even got here, because, you know what I'm saying, if it's constant in the universe, then you can't say you discover it, because it's just a constant law that exists. So definitely the idea of math being in existence before us is something that I agree with. I don't. When people say they're inventing something, or I would say you have to say you discovered it, because it just already was here, and when you come up with the theorem, you just like, damn, you just unraveling, you know what I'm saying, the gift from the box, and now we can see it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what.
Would you be willing to debate on that, Hercules?
That it's discovered or invented?
Yeah. Would you take a debate on that topic?
Yeah, if you want to.
I'm looking for some personal debates myself. That's what I was asking. I do want to look a little bit more into it before we lock anything in, though. But it's A1.
A1.
Oh, A1. Hey, what's up?
Tell me how you feeling today.
Nah, nigga, I ain't trying to debate you. You dangerous, nigga.
I'm gonna leave you alone, man.
I seen you, yo. I was like, holy shit, A1 is because you don't say much on your, like you said, you don't say much on your channel, but you know, I've heard you talk before on other channels, and I was like, holy shit, this nigga is dangerous.
Yeah, I don't play. That's why I'm good for this job right here.
Yo.
I'll be cooking.
But yeah, that's a conversation I've definitely had before. So yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, you want to set it up? That's cool. That's definitely a conversation I definitely got into before. I'm
gonna read a little bit more into it though. I personally right now feel the opposite of what you said, but I do want to look into it.
Yeah. And so my difference is, I mean, you guys already know where I come from. I mean, my standing point where I'm at. It's more like an African-centered, point of view. So when we're talking about, the math, and you're getting into the, I guess when we get into like the abstraction of what mathematics is, one of the things I was trying to point out when I did my presentations on mathematics was I was trying to present that there was a different concept and a different approach that the people of ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet had than what the Greeks had, because the Greeks, they moved towards that more abstract model of mathematics, where it's based on pure symbolism, and it's this the beauty of mathematics. That's what they moved towards, and that's, I mean, because it is a Western thing, and for me, it was one of the things that I gravitated towards, but that why I wanted to study math, because I always thought it was beautiful. Saying the symbols and shit. I always thought that shit was beautiful, so that's why I wanted to get into it. But from like just from looking at it and reading more, I understand that in ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, they didn't. It wasn't about the beauty of a proof for them. It was more about the reality of mathematics. So in Western math is more about that. You want to prove something and make it beautiful. You want to make this proof logical and stuff. So that's their approach, where Kemetic was more based on reality and the divine laws of the universe. So those were the contrasting differences between the Western approach of doing mathematics and the ancient approach of doing math. And so when you get into Kurt Gödel's incompleteness theorem, that's what his whole incompleteness theorem was about. Was that there's an incompleteness at some point that you have to come into reality with. That the system they in Western they look at mathematics as a closed, think about it as a closed system. That's how they looking at it. And that's how, when his incompleteness theorem, when he proved that the consistency of like a logical system is what was it, like the truth can't be proven using the rules of that system. That's what his incompleteness. That's what the incompleteness theorem was about. And so I would say from the Kemetic aspect, it's not a closed system. It's not this abstract system. It's a system that they looked at, like I said, the universe, the nature and the divine was all things was one, and you're not closing yourself off from the universe to prove something. So the difference, so that's kind of like the contrasting difference of how they did it and how they looked at things. And how
can I ask a question, Hurt?
That Gödel, how he looked at it, yeah.
How far back you got a numeric system in Kemet?
How far back you got a numeric system?
Yeah.
Like you mean numbers and stuff like that?
Yeah, numeral. I think I'm saying it wrong. Numeral system.
Well, numbers before. I mean, numbers in Africa period goes back before Kemet, before the kingdom was founded. You know what I'm saying? It goes way before the kingdom was even founded.
So like, if you could just, I don't know, like give a time frame. It don't have to be like
an like 40,000 years ago.
So you talking about like just counting period.
Yeah.
I'm talking about actual numbers.
That's numbers. The prime numbers, you see in the Lubombo bone and Ashango's bones. And that's what 30,000 years ago. And so we see people, African people, working with what's it called, like abstract thought back then, because the prime numbers are something that you wouldn't just like, wasn't practical at that time. It wouldn't have been practical. that we know of, that we don't know why they was counting prime numbers, why they was using them, but we know that they understood what prime numbers were.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I could agree to that. You basically talking about like how I guess tallies wouldn't be the exact same illustration. Like they would be drawn slightly different as they proceeded.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Like it was marks before they were actually numbers. Like when I
Oh,
say numbers, I guess I'm
yeah.
talking about in a modern sense.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but that's still this. It's still this. I would say it was still the same concept. If you're making marks, what I'm saying, you putting 3 stripes, 4 stripes or something. It's still the same concept as me just writing the number 3. We still on the same page. You just representing it differently than I'm representing it.
I got you. I had a reason I'm asking you because I ain't, I'm never claiming to be like a mathematician or no shit like that. But I did have a conversation with a guy, and one of his perspectives was, I guess that was kind of separate, like as far as the numeral system and just counting and making marks for your counting. And it was, I guess, significantly different as far as to just say because they were making different marks that it was systematic as our numeral system today.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying. But I think, I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that because even if you're making marks, like Juju just put in the chat, like they was counting the moon cycle. You know what I'm saying? You're just counting the days of the moon, right? That 30-day time period. You're just making marks compared to as you are, what would be a numeral system? You just like understanding that numbers, go on forever, that there are integers and, what I'm saying, rational numbers, what I'm saying, stuff like that.
And I guess like even being able to put mathematics into it as well.
So here's the thing is that one of the things that we learned from the guy, David Hewley, in his book on African mathematics, he talked about that they were not just making marks to count the lunar cycles, that they actually created a 365-day year calendar. And they understood that, it was 365. It was 360, and then they had the extra marks to make it 365 days. Or I think he said 364 days. However, but you see them keeping track of the year. You know what I'm saying? They keeping track of time. They was
for the record too. I'm more so like he teaches math too. I'm not sure how long he's taught math. I know for at least like 15 plus years, but
David Hewley?
No. The brother that I'm speaking about. I can't even think of this nigga's name right now. Wayne Dorsey. That's the nigga name. His name Wayne Dorsey. But I more so agree with the way that you're explaining it versus him trying to separate it as much as he was. Because, like you say, in a sense, or not even in a sense, making the marks and especially making them different as they go on would be counting, and it would be, considered numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's the thing about the Ashango bones is that they grouped them like saying 1, that 3, was it 5, 7, 11, they grouped them. You see the prime numbers, even though it's just tally marks, but you see that it's prime numbers. Maybe they didn't have a symbol for it at that time, but they had an understanding of these numbers are prime. And one of the things that I've been looking into is that it's from the African perspective, like when you're dealing with a society like a culture that automatically thinks that, you know what I'm saying, you come into this world through the spiritual realm, you know what I'm saying, it's you're going to try to make a connection to try to understand what that divine is and what that spiritual world is. You're just not going to just live your life just like, lottie dottie lottie dottie. You know what I'm saying? Some people are going to try to like, okay, I want to understand what's going on and how things are. And I believe that they did that earlier than what, you know, we have been believed that they've been doing it, because we see that, you know, the Adam, what's it called, the Adam calendar in South Africa. This building structure is what, 70,000, they say it's 70,000 years old. We see the pyramids carvings over there, and you see pyramid carvings that goes back 30,000 years old, 40,000 years old, that's carved on like vases or pottery pots or whatever. So they already had these concepts in their mind before they even started to build the pyramids. And so from my point of view, I don't start with Kemet. You know what I'm saying? The people who founded Kemet, they came from Central and Southern Africa. You know what I'm saying? So they was bringing these concepts up, and they migrated, you know what I'm saying, mingled, talked to each other, and, you know, just put stuff together.
Question for you, Hurt, real quick. You did a presentation over here a while ago, and I don't even know if it was in your presentation, but you were talking about, I think, how the pyramid has this mathematical ratio or something that you found or something. Or am I tripping?
So no, I do need to write a paper on this, and I've been slacking on it. My discovery is that the pyramid is a representation of imaginary numbers. There's a lot of you know, things that people found in the pyramid that they mathematically found with the pyramid, the Great Pyramid. But what I've realized is that it is a physical representation of an imaginary number, the fourth root of -1. So, and
that's what it was, yeah.
And so it mathematically it comes out to that, and there's no other logic that you could come from it, that you could put into it. So it equals that. And so it's like, it just hit me one day. I was like, holy shit, did they actually, this can't be true, man. But when you start to add into their spiritual system and how they saw stuff, then it all adds up. And you're like, oh, okay. Then it's like, oh, all right, I understand why they came up with this, why it's like that. So that's one of the things that I realized.
Did pi come from the pyramid?
Come from the pyramids? No, I think I think they've been understood. I mean, you mean come from the pyramids?
Okay, so that was something that was, like you say, okay, already understood. I guess in a sense for it to be rationalized for us to be able to draw out mathematically. But I don't know which. I would have to look more into like ancient numbers before the modern numeric system.
Yeah.
But I know I seen the Lubombo bone or whatever it is. So I know about like the tally marks and stuff like that and how far back that goes. But
yeah. I mean, we gotta remember, we dealing with a system of people, a system of stuff that not only they did things more orally, it's also that you had to be initiated into it. You know what I'm saying? You just couldn't, it wasn't open like, you know, today. You had to be initiated to learn this stuff. Mm-hmm. So they didn't leave everything out for everyone to learn. You know what I'm saying? It was hidden, you know?
Yeah, and by the way, too, bro, I ain't debating you on none of this. I'm asking you everything out of ignorance. Like, I'm great at simple math. I don't act like I'm a mathematician though.
I ain't tripping off that. I ain't tripping.
But,
okay, but my question was, you're a math teacher right now, Hurt?
Me? Yeah.
That wasn't the question. That's the question that I wanted to ask before the question. What, and not trying to be nosy, but like, you teach middle school or?
Oh, I'm in elementary right now.
Okay, because I was gonna go into the math. My daughter is doing like a different type of math than I used to do when I was a kid.
Yeah.
To the point where I had to go and learn this whole new system just to be able to help her with her homework. Not that she even needs my help, but I wanted to be able to understand it just to make sure she was doing it right. You feel me? So
right, yeah.
Was that invented, or was that always a constant? Like, You see what I'm saying? Like if there's different forms of mathematics, are
So
they all
yeah, so
constant,
that's
or are people like finding like the finding it in nature? But it's I don't know. I don't. Go ahead. I'll let you talk because I don't even know how to frame what I'm trying to say.
no, I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying because what you're talking about is not something being invented. It's just they are repurposing and trying to reformulate how to teach to teach the same math that we grew up with. You know what I'm saying? They just doing it differently. So you're not inventing anything new. You just reframing it, reconstruction it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We just did straight subtraction. 10 minus 7. You put up 10 fingers, take away 7. You know what I'm saying? 15 minus 7. You know what I'm saying? You got to teach the kids how to borrow from the tens place. The ones place got borrowed from the tens place. So what they doing now is that one of the methods that they doing is that they would round up. They would take it as we do it, we round up. So if it's say it's 18 minus 7, you tell them to round the 18 up to 20 and just take away 7. Or you round it up to 20, take away 7, so they can see in the tens. You have them counting by tens. We start them off by counting by tens. I'm thinking about second grade. I'm in second grade and third grade, and so you start off by counting by tens. Teach them how to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You count by 5, 10, 50, so they can understand how to count by these numbers. And so you teach them. You round up to 20, and 10 from 7 is 3. And you just taking away that 1 from the 2, so you got that 13. But you had the question was 18. The question was 18 minus 7. I said 18, right? I did say 18, right? And so, well, no, that's a bad example because they should be able to do that one. I'm trying to think of an example. It's so crazy because what they would do is like say, all right, I think like all right, 53 minus 12. I think that'll be a better example. 53 minus 2. I'm just thinking of stuff. And so you would round 53 down to 50 because you want to round it to a tens number. 10, again, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, stuff like that. You want to round it to a tens number. And Common Core. Judy put it, this is the Common Core math joint. So you want to round it to a 0 so you can see where it's easier to subtract. What did I say? I said 53 minus. Damn, I forgot. 53. But it's the steps. It's the steps. They do it. All these extra steps is very weird. Like
you said 12. 53
12
minus
okay.
12.
12. So you round it down to a tens number. 50 minus 12, and that 10 take away 2 is 8, and they just have to cross out the 5, you make it that 4. You draw that 4 down. That 4 minus 1, is 3. The 4 minus 1, is 3, right? So they could get what 50, and then they have to add back the number because you rounded it. We rounded down to the 50 from 53 to 50, and they have to add back that 3 to get 41, something like that. But for me, it was like, it kept saying like, what the hell? Just tell them to just subtract, just basic subtract. I would just tell them, I started off because you don't start off with the double digits. You start off with like the single digits, like 10 minus 7, 20 minus 7, stuff like that. And so I was just like, put up 10 fingers, take away 7. Put up 10 fingers, take away 5. But once I showed them that, and they understood how to just basically subtract, like we did. The problem came in because they have to do it on a laptop today, and the laptop, when they're doing it online, the iReady joint is set up so they have to do it as the Common Core sets up. So they can't do the 23 minus 12. They just can't do it directly. They have to reduce round it down to 20, and then all these steps into it. So some of them get confused with it. I mean, it's not that confusing, but some of them get confused and they get lost with it. And it's like, come on, man, it's like all these steps y'all adding to it when you should just do just basic subtraction that we all grew up with, just subtracting. But I don't know, man. To me, it's annoying. I think it's annoying, but it's more.
It is when I went out of my way to teach her all this math and division and have her way ahead, and then they just change it up. Like that kind of irks me. But she says Juju says it's a different method. Is it a different method that was invented, or is it fine? And so each method isn't.
So yeah, it's just a different
math
method
being invented. Nobody invents the method, or is it just like somebody had to come up with it? Even if it works and it's found in nature, I don't know. And that's why I said I have to look more.
No. So
I don't want to be semantic. Because just because they find it in nature and like doesn't. I don't know if that's invented or if that's discovering. So I'm going to have to actually just look into this and see what the philosophers are saying. And I already know what your stance is. I'm not trying to grill you, though. I was just trying to. You answered all my questions. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, what I would say is that is they came up with a different method of doing subtraction and adding. You know what I'm saying? When I say that math is not invented, it's just discovered because it's already existed. That's like, think of like it's universal constants. Like think like pi. We know pi is 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, something like that. 3.141. You know that's pi. So if you take the circumference of a tree, you're going to get pi. No matter how thick the tree is, you're still going to get pi. It's just there. So you're not inventing anything. It's just there. You're discovering it. It's there. So what they have done, they've just created a new way of doing subtraction and math and subtraction and addition, and even multiplication. But it's still just like, you're taking two sticks, you're putting them together. That's 1 + 1. That you got two sticks. You add another stick. That's 3 sticks. You got these rocks. You got 4 rocks. If I add another rock, I got 5 rocks. The more you add, the bigger the number gets up. The bigger the number goes up. So you're seeing that the more cattle you have, you got 2 cows. I add another cow, I got 3 cows. You didn't invent the number 3. It's just it's just the concept is already there. So they didn't invent a different method of doing math. They came up with a different way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? We did subtraction just basically, you borrow and this and that, you just straight subtract. But now it's like, they have different ways of doing it now. So it's not an invention. I wouldn't say it's an invention. It's just a different method of doing the math. Is what I would say. It's just different method, different techniques of what they're doing now. GD Capone was good. Yo, so what I was just say this, what I was talking about earlier when we talked about the difference between like Gödel's incomplete theorem and the kinetic way was that, like, you're saying, you're looking at, like, he was trying to he proved that, you can't in a closed system, saying stuff is always, you're always going to have there's always going to be this uncertainty in a closed system. And so what I've been trying to, like, I guess, kind of say or prove or trying to show is that in the Kemetic system, it wasn't a closed system, because they're looking at the system as a system that's connected with the universe, that's connected as one, whereas the Western is not connected. You know what I'm saying? It's a purely abstract mathematical system, and it's like it's never complete. So that I think that's the difference in some of the things that the Westerners, how they're looking at the doing mathematics and understanding it. The separation of mathematics from the physical world. Some things that because how some people say your math is just pure math. It's not. You're not, if you're not applying it, then it's not applied math. You got the physics. You're doing the physics and chemistry and stuff like that. That's applied mathematics. The foundations of physics and stuff. The Westerners, when you're doing pure math, it's just this theory and abstract math, which what I'm saying, like I said, is one of the things that drew me into studying math. I liked it.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things it's this guy called what's his name? Russell something. Russell, he had the paradox. He came up with a paradox theory. Russell's paradox. I can't think of his first name. But he was saying like the rules of abstract mathematics, it locks you into the system of logical thinking. The system, if something is true, then if something is true, it can't be a lie. And if it's a lie, then it can't be truth.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's a system that it ends up, it's a loop. It ends up being a loop within itself, without any external factors on the joint. So this is like, it was this paradox that this guy Russell came up with. And what Gödel did, he that this is a flaw in a closed loop, that you just can't. How do I explain this? If you're relying on yourself, if you're relying on the self of this eternal loop, you can't be like it can't be complete. It's always going to be incomplete. There's always going to be a reason, that is that you can't explain something. There's always going to be a reason. So that's tying into that's keeping the mathematics, like you're keeping it in this pure abstract sense. You're not tying it to anything. Whereas when you look at the Kemetic, when you look at ancient Egypt, when we look at them, and they tied the math to the divine, to the spiritual world, to that those aspects of the universe. And where like say the Eye of Horus. Yeah, the Eye of Horus is it's a complete, it represents one, like this wholeness. It's showing you that without the completeness, you're missing one object. Without that completeness, you can never be complete. So it's tied. So when you're tying it into something, you're tying it to a divine system, or you're tying it to a universe system. You don't get the incompleteness, what Gödel was talking about, which I don't know. It's just something that I think I'm seeing, from that I see from the philosophy from Kurt Gödel's incompleteness theorem when he was when you study that shit. That's something that I had to prove, and it was that real analysis, and it was annoying.
So Hurt, would you say is mathematics to me, if I was African, if I was does mathematics seem like Mayat speaking to you? If you know what I'm saying, I don't
I wouldn't say
I don't know how to. I don't. Yeah, because I don't want to say speaking, but showing you. I don't know how to. Like, is that your answers? The mathematics is the answers. That.
So for me, one of the things I tell you, one of the things that I'm working on that I'm trying to prove, that I want to prove, actually I want to prove, is Ma'at is a universal constant. So that's something I want to prove, so I want to get into. But speaking to you, I think that they try to show with that math is connected to the use. It's not just like the numbers are not just abstract by themselves. You know, there's this connectionness to the system. It's physical as well as spiritual, as well as divine. You know, as they I think one of the things I guess I could talk about is the was it Asar, Set, and Haru. Damn, I can't. I'm trying to remember. I think what Asar was Asar, Set, Haru, which is a 2. I want to say 2, 3, and 4, right? 2, 3, and 4, because they were the for the what's the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem. What is the I'm trying to think of the numbers. The 4, 5, 6 triangle. Yeah, the triangle. So they made up that triangle. However, they just weren't abstract. They just were the divine concepts. They were the numbers that go along with it as well.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So the 4, 5 triangle is Asar, Set, and Haru as well. Not just, it just wasn't just, you know, regular. You knew the divine concept. And let me say this. So when people say that were the gods, were their, you know, nectars, you know, real or literal, you have to understand that not for everyone, it's both, because it depends on your level of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that not everybody knew this. It's stuff that you had to be initiated into.
Right.
Not everybody was learning this stuff. So the priests understood it. You know, those Obadalas on that level, they understood it. But, you know, the average person, you know, the cattle driver or the shoemaker, you know, they may not understood it on that level. However, you know what I'm saying? But the Obadalas did on that higher level. They did have that understanding. So when you get into where the people just, where they do the gods literal, they look at the Netarus as literal beings or, you know, abstracts. It was both, and it depends on who you were talking to, because you can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't talk to a Batala and say that, you know, these were actually real people, because they'd be like, no, they'll break it down for you of why, you know, these are concepts in the universe that we are representing in this form. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it was the numbers weren't just abstract. It was something that they tied to the from my understanding, it's something that they just tied to the universe and to their geometric structures as well, to try to explain this connection with the physical and the spiritual. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but
no, you're making sense. That's a nice venture to walk on. If you find out that's true, it might change a lot of outlooks for that, because I can see that concept right there. I'm representing the numbers for that triangle. And only like the priest would, or the main people would know that.
Yeah, because, you know, and you know, today, you know, we talk about mathematics like you know, just like I said, it's just an abstract concept. You talk about it as it's in a vacuum. You know, it's not tied to anything until, you know, physics catch up. And that's one of the things that what's her name? Sabina Hossenfelder, you know, the German math physicist, theoretical physicist, she talks about in that book. I talked about it before. Lost in Mathematics. Yeah. Where she talks about, you know, the physics is like, today's physics is basically stalled out. It's like, they ain't coming up with nothing new. And basically, it ain't coming up with nothing new because all the advanced mathematics, they don't have a way to apply it yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason. It's like, it's like abstract algebra is one that, like, it's now abstract algebra today is one of the requirements for people to get your degrees of physics at some universities, because for ring theory and what's the other one? Ring theory and something else. I forgot. I can't think about it. But you learn it in abstract algebra, and they're just now learning uses for it in physics. They just now learning uses for it. So they tell you, you got to study abstract algebra. So today, the mathematics has always been ahead because you come up with these theories and stuff, but then you have to find a way to actually apply it, to actually use it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that when you think about when they say you can't prove the spiritual, you can't prove the spiritual realm, but we know mathematically you could prove the spiritual realm. However, physically you can't prove it yet because they don't have the technology to do it.
So you said mathematically you could prove what?
The spiritual realm.
How?
So
Explain
because the spiritual realm is so this is my what is it? My interpretation, I guess I would say. For complex numbers are only mapped to higher dimensions. They do not. We live in the third dimension, and when you map in complex numbers, they do not map to our dimension. They can only map to the fourth dimension and above. So I make the claim that the fourth dimension, that is the spiritual realm. So if you could prove mathematically that you can map them to things to the spiritual, to the fourth dimension, you're mapping things in that spiritual realm. That's what I'm calling the spiritual realm. So Michael, I showed this paper before. I forgot the name of it. I think it talks about this, but it's just something here. Complex numbers they prove the existence of that fourth dimension. They only map to the fourth dimension. They only map to higher dimensions, fifth, sixth, seventh dimensions and stuff like that. So just because we don't have the technology to prove it, to show it physically, it doesn't mean it exists. It does not exist. That's just showing that the physics and the chemistry, the science, the applied sciences has not caught up to the mathematics. But it is a known fact that complex numbers are mapped to higher dimensions. And another theorem, I can't think of it right now, but it's called, like, I can't think of the name of it, but it's like a shadow. We are three-dimensional objects. We cast a two-dimensional shadow. So we live in a three-dimensional world. Therefore, you have something that's casting a four-dimensional, that's a four dimensions that casting a three-dimensional shadow. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of the name of that theory right now, but that's an actual theorem that they have proven. And so it's just stuff like that that's been working out, that people they work out, but yet the science on it hasn't caught up to the actual physically showing it. And I don't think you can, because I don't know. For me, I don't think you can. It wouldn't seem like you would be able to, because I think you might, I don't know, you might die. You might die trying to get to that next realm. Because I don't think we would be able to exist in that next realm. In higher realms, we wouldn't be able to physically go into those higher realms. And I don't think we could be able to do that. I think we would just die. We wouldn't be able to exist. So the juju, no, it's nothing I teach to the students. I don't teach none of this. Come on, man. I don't talk to them kids. Those are little kids. Even when I was at the middle school, when I was in talking to the 8th graders, I didn't talk about nothing like this. I would talk about, Black history. That's what I would talk about. Try to wake them up, but nah. And plus, the plus they have people coming around to your classroom. The math coach, stuff. They'll come around to your classroom, every once in a while, probably like every day, sometimes, or every other day, and they just to make sure you're on task and you're not venturing off. So you can't even sit around and talk to the kids about their behavior, how they should behave themselves, control themselves, just talking about basic morals and stuff like that, and ethics. You can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? You always got to be on task teaching math. You always got to be teaching that curriculum, sticking with the curriculum. So I think, and I think that's a setup that goes against us, because it ain't helping our kids when you got kids that come to your school that's completely disrespectful and they don't want to, they don't want to learn. I'm sorry, that wasn't Juju. That wasn't Juju who said that. That's somebody else. But yeah, I think that's a setup against us. It's just I don't like it how that shit going, man.
I feel you, man. Sure, you can make them. You can get you some concepts going that work. That's what mathematics is, ain't it? You find some equations, like you said. Sometimes you don't find out them equations work till hell. You might be gone when you do, but like you said, mathematics is true. It's the best. It's one of the best technologies we got when it comes to advancing development of technology. To me, I hate to say it like this because people start trying to call you pseudo and stuff. So I got to say my words right. In my opinion, it seems to me that if the universe could speak, to me it's speaking through mathematics and science. And when I ain't gonna say speaking, I don't like to say speaking. It's it gives a layout. It gives a mapped layout of, like, when you question something, you put an equation together, and if that equation meets, what you asked, then you can go on using that equation to do other things. That's what we find out about mathematics, right? The advancement of mathematics.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like you said, the universe. You could say communicates.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that'd be a better way to say it.
Through numbers and the math through numbers, because like that the video, like you played a video that showed that what was it, the phi and the golden ratio is all throughout the galaxies. It's all throughout the galaxy. So it's communicating with us, letting us know that there is, you have this common ratio. You have this something that's common all throughout the universe. Another thing that I talked about was what's called the fine structure, the constant, which is a number 137, or 1 over 137, that is found all throughout the universe. And if you see it, you understand that there's intelligent life. There was a PBS. There's PBS. I played this. We talked about this. I played this. There's a PBS. Just short video on it talking about the fine structure constant. And if you want to communicate with alien life forms, what would you send to them to let them know that you're intelligent? You can't send them a letter or something, some words, because they don't know your letter. You can't send them a metric system, something in unit systems, because they don't know our unit systems. But the fine structure constant is the only thing that's right now that we know of that's unitless. It has no units at all. You know what I'm saying? When you calculate it, put it together, all the units cancel out, and you just come up with 137, or 1 over 137. You just come up with this number. So he was saying, the guy was saying that this would be the number that you would send to an alien civilization that is advanced, so they understand that you also are advanced. And then you you go into other stuff like DNA and all that stuff. You would talk about this, but those are that's a constant in the universe that you could communicate, and the universe is communicating with you as well. That you're like, hey, you understand this number? This number exists. It is what is it? The final structure is the ratio between the
Yeah, we got to set that one up, bro. I don't
atoms. The atoms.
You said enough now. We're gonna have to go ahead and set this up. I got you jumping out the tree. Yeah, I'll take it was invented. If you want to take it was discovered.
Okay.
Because I hear you talking. It don't sound too solid.
Okay, that's good.
Let me write it on my board. Real quick.
Yeah, write it on the board so I can make a flyer for me. It hurts. Have some fun. Take our time with it. I ain't gonna schedule it fast. Like a month.
That's what my episodes do. That's what those episodes of Know the Ledge do. Get our minds to thinking and critically thinking so we can form other questions and ask debates. That's a nice debate topic right there.
I haven't seen it done. Have you seen that debate topic, Hercules?
As a debate, no. I mean, I've seen people talk about it, yeah, but not a debate, no.
I haven't seen it as a debate either.
When I say people, I'm talking about mathematicians and scholars. I've seen them talk about it, yeah.
I've heard it before, but I haven't seen any professors talk about it. Just you, for real. Just read about it a little bit. But,
definitely. All right, y'all gonna
accepting the offer, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna stay up. Y'all keep me up, and I end up calling in tomorrow.
Oh no, don't do that, man. Go get that money, man. I'm at work right now.
Thank you, Herc, man.
Job on top of everything else I do.
Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you so much, man.
Appreciate you, man. Good night. Yeah, we gotta get that flyer ready, man. I think I got me one.
Yeah, it's a nice old debate right there.
I think I got me one.
Emmanuel left. They in there? I think I know.
Which was a fire topic that you came up with?
Next week.
Well, you didn't, that you picked.
Yeah.
And your presentation was nice.
Yeah, I'm getting better with them now. Getting my thing up, man. Get some information out. Like I said, my Know the Ledge shows is to get the mind thinking and exercising like they was talking about. And speaking of mind exercise,
I beg to differ, Jay Snake. I beg to differ. You'll see on debate day.
Different type. Now everybody better listen up.
Gotta cut it down.
Even when life try to press you down, turn your frown to a smile. I make style just to lift you up.
We can ran everybody off the panel, man. I start talking about debates, everybody drop. Damn, they scared of A1. That's crazy. I like it like that. Run and hide when I pull up. That's what you do. Run and hide, y'all. They don't want that smoke. Coming out of retirement. Me and GD and Capone getting it in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this new song. And you can end the show if you want to. I mean, it's like 18 people in here. Somebody hit that link and talk about some science.
Yeah.
What you know? Antonio Quantamoni is only looking for somebody to challenge him on his own philosophy. Everybody running from this one. I'm about to start debating Quantamoni in my life.
It's a nice tool, man, if you like to debate. And you're gonna end up thinking, like I said, I think it's mental exercise for me. Made me a different type of animal.
Different type of animal. I was playing that all morning. Definitely was playing that your song all morning.
This one right here.
No, different type of animal. I'll be working out to that song every day. It make me feel like a different type of animal, like I'm in beast mode when I'm in the gym. And when I be running, I ran 2 miles, then I hit these steps. With that song on repeat.
Yeah, I got some nice little tracks.
Don't be all books and no workout now. You gotta diversify the hours of your day. Make sure you working out your brain and your body.
Yeah, I definitely.
Don't let me be the only one in shape. Pop and top this and catch up.
You definitely know that. Get mine.
Yeah, we bringing it out. Watching me. Better watch the crowd.
Yeah, man.
About to eat this.
Play a couple more songs and then just don't feel nobody want to cover up his type or something. I'll play a few of my old.
Drop that link again. It's probably lost in the chat.
I want to thank everybody for coming out.
Damn. Get one of them, man. For the hot dollar. I'll take one.
The wool remove this wolves I see. No fur, no scales, it's feathers on me. The wool remove this wolves I see. Different pace, out of space, ain't no catching me. The wool remove this wolves I see. No fur, no scales, it's feathers on me. Who you talking about? Whole squad floating when we walking out. Feathers, bro. And my mind is treasures, bro. Homie, that's the name of my mind because we make dough. And we run this thing so they move when we say so. Click full of soldiers plus we move and we're halo. My nephew got the sauce, this the better than mayo. Why I stay the same, I just build like Legos. Tryna shape the game till it thick, thoughts like Play-Doh. Ice cold smooth cat with a milkshake flow. You say she a bad one, I call her a bimbo. People disrespect and get it poppin' like a pimple. Skinny dude, but my presence wider than a hippo. Why y'all call them challenges, these thoughts are simple. Docked at the game, watch you play operate. Bringing major pressure to these people cooperate. But we not the same, feel like I'm from outer space. Why you in my lane, I'm moving at a different pace. Black out like my dude pace. Stay smooth like my dude chase. Hot but I'm cold, y'all still, y'all been late. Rest of this rap thing, you should probably say sensei. The wool remove this wolves I see. No fur, no scales, it's feathers on me. Feathers on me, feathers on me, feathers on me. The wool remove this wolves I see. Different place, out of space, ain't no catching me. Who said what? Talking like you know the answer, but you started late. Too late. Feather. Boom, bounce when the bass collide. Hey, I'm a thoroughbred winner and you been a fake. You just a TV, then into a dinner plate. Messing with this top shotter, you already knew your fate. Grown folk businesses, so you already knew your place. Feeling paid in full, feeling like a dude ace. People getting out of line and they're getting body chase. Cause when I make a move, so I never catch a case. Baby, I can make it flood, these other precipitate. Ain't no applications to the squad, we initiate. They just wanna be around, trying hard to imitate. You folks your pansies and I've been A. Running back, vision, see the whole antenna trade. Talking like you know the answer, but you started late. Who taught you the game? Who you walking with a broken slate? I'm shaking worlds in my mind like it's roller skate. One man doing everything while you overthink. Track a ball trade, still better than your one lane. Break the beat with the bars, bit the whole thing. Feathers on me, now the whole club know the name. OLE, different type of heart in the game. Yeah, different pace, different mind, different grind, different time. The war removed, now I finally see the watching me. What you talking about? No club moving when we working out. Oh, feathers on me, feathers on me, feathers on me, feathers on me. What you talking about? The wool removed, you wolves I see. No dogs, no snakes, it's feathers on me. This time, let's start. Yeah. They try to open their third eye with both eyes closed. Can't see the consequences to the things that they chose. Put they self in deeper sleep, claiming that they woke, while I'm watching time and nature moving through the smoke. I fell in love with wisdom. Sophia held my hand, told me comfort ain't real if it destroy another man. So I learned to love existence without controlling all the plans. Try to hold on to forever, still it slipped right through my hands. Tried everything to get it, still slipped through my hands. Then it's both of my kids. Only thing I truly love, my number one fans. And I still smile even when life get cold, cause most things grow in the sunlight, but grow the most at night. That's something people don't know. I'm more fighty, I'm more. I love time because nature gave me something to adore. I'm more fighty, I'm more. Forever be Father Time and Mother Nature dancing endlessly. Open both eyes when you finally see. You get two eyes, but only one vision of reality. More love again. I guess I'll tell you about the secret to existence again. Feathers on me, stars above, everything alive because of love. The only time I fell in love, I was standing on the ledge. If I would've knew the ledge, I might've moved different instead. Thought I found forever in somebody else's head, but she just wanted friendship while I was thinking marriage bed. So here I go again, talking about love again, trying to explain existence through the pain again, trying to hold beauty still, but time don't ever stand. That's when Father Time whispers, son, that's just a plan. And Mother Nature touched my shoulder, said nothing blooms forever, but everything returns eventually. That's when I finally understood why heartbreak make us wiser, why loneliness get deeper when your thoughts become advisors. People fear the dark, but the stars only shine there. Flowers drink the sunlight, but roots grow where the night live. That's why I stopped hearing pain and started reading signs there. Every scar another map showing me where life is. Time and nature had a face, I don't think they look old. Probably young forever, with eternal souls. Little kids with galaxies inside their pupils glowing gold, running through the universe, laughing while creation unfolds. Not gods on thrones, not witches casting spells, just the endless interaction that make existence itself. One gay sequence, one gay shape, and together they became every heartbeat, every ocean, every memory, every name. Beauty and the beast, light and dark, love and grief, that's the balance. People call it contradiction, but I call it understanding. Cause I love time, cause time gave me moments. And I love nature, cause nature let me hold them. That's why I cherish every second, even broken ones too. Cause without the hurt and healing, Father Time and Mother Nature dancing endlessly. Forever be Father Time and Mother Nature dancing endlessly. Open both eyes when you finally see. two eyes, but only one vision of reality. I'm all love again. I guess I'll tell you about the topic of existence again. Feathers on me, stars above, everything alive because of love. Mama fighting, mama amor. This time I understand it.
Who you talking to? Who said what? Who told who? Who built the frame that you looking through? Who you talking to? Talking timeless while you speaking in sequence too. If it ain't coherent, it collapse on cue. Who you talking to? Who said that? Who told you existence started? Run that back. Every worldview crack where the pressure at. Who you talking to? Who you talking to? Who said what? Who told who? Who built the frame that you're looking through? Who you talking to? Talking timeless while you speaking in sequence too. If it ain't coherent, it collapse on cue. Who you talking to? Who said that? Who told you existence started? Run that back. Every worldview crack where the pressure at. Who you talking to? Every line of treasure you only find in the mind, my mind. And you know I work in the mines. I don't charge a dime for you to stay out of mine. 2 times, we on time. Every line got another line, hide behind the line. You hearing bars, I'm hearing structure and design. You hear a punchline, I hear ontology align. Who said reality started? Talking outside existence while existing to argue. Smuggling sequence in your sentence unconsciously. Then call it timeless when I ask what the process be. Who you talking about? Half these worldviews fall when you walk them out. Everybody got answers till you chalk it out. And coherence disappear when you map it out. I studied Heraclitus flowing rivers in motion. Parmenides froze it, I can see both in the ocean. Can't build a frame, but the frame still folded. Trying to define the world while the mind still holding it. Aristotle looking for causes and categories. Nietzsche killed guys, but couldn't kill reality. Heidegger staring into being and anxiety. I'm just asking what makes existence intelligibly. Who you talking to? Talking timeless while you speaking in sequence too. If it ain't coherent, it collapse on cue. Who you talking to? Who said what? Who built the worldview that you standing on? Everybody sounding deep to the ladder gone. And they looking real nervous when the pattern drawn. I slept these haters in they face with this one. Shh, wait, I missed one. 2 times, we on time. Every line of gem they only find in the mind, my mind. You know I work in the mines, digging through mines while I'm digging through mine. Blue collar, philosopher, coffee cup thinker, still plotting possible worlds while the clock getting thinner. Whole room talking loud, I just watch and consider. Cause the loudest in the room usually know the least in it. Who taught you that? Who said existence got a border where the proof at? Who talking outside reality and still attached? Using logic from existence just to move back. That's incoherent. I ain't even gotta raise my tone. I just let the contradiction sit there on its own. People wanna skip structure just to chase the throne. Till the worldview collapse and they standing there alone. They want a war record. I gave them world pressure. Every verse another hidden room in the architecture. Every line another layer underneath the texture. You hear rhythm, I hear systems trying to fit together. And I ain't culturally inappropriate, intellectually inappropriate. I'm coherently inappropriate, yeah. You hate the conclusion, but the structure still hold. That's why the room get quiet when the logic unfolds. Who you talking to? Talking timeless while you speaking in sequence too. If it ain't coherent, it collapse on cue. Who you talking to? Who said that? Who taught you existence started? Run that back. Every worldview crack where the pressure at. Who you talking to? OLEE on a late night broadcast. Hourglass eye, watching timelines cross paths. Earth in the other eye, both sides balance. Nature and time, that's the code in the canvas. No wings, still.
Who you talking
Let's
to?
pause the noise for a second, because if you're still here right now, you're already different. Not everyone gets this. Not everyone understands real debate, real scholarship, real intellectual smoke. But you do. This is Coliseum of Arguments. This is Titans Debate League. And what happens here doesn't survive on algorithms. It survives on the people who believe in it. When you support through Cash App, you're not just donating. You're fueling the arena. You're the reason we can bring in high-level guests. You're the reason we keep unbiased judges. You're the reason these debates stay sharp, fair, and uncompromised. This platform is built by thinkers, sustained by supporters, protected by the ones who know value when they see it. If this show has ever sharpened your mind, has ever entertained you, or has ever challenged what you thought you knew, then Cash App is how you say, keep this going. Not everyone contributes, but the ones who do, they're part of what makes this real. Coliseum of Arguments, Titans Debate League, powered by the people who get it.
Who you talking to? Who said that? Who told you existence started? Run that back. Every worldview crack where the